That's it for this.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to see you. My name is Lynn Thompson, and I'm chair of the Board of Trustees here at Scripps College and a proud alumna of the class of '72. On behalf of all of the members of the board, many of whom are here on the platform with me, it is my pleasure to welcome you to Scripps College's 90th and 91st annual commencement exercises. We are delighted to be together today in celebration after 2 tumultuous years apart. To the classes of 2020 and 2021, today is the celebration we have all waited for, interrupted by the pandemic. I am inspired by your perseverance and deeply moved to see so many of you here today. Today's ceremony marks the culmination of years of hard work, growth, and self-discovery in the face of uncertainty. You didn't allow COVID to define or derail your goal. It is only the beginning of the next phase of pursuing your chosen path. I congratulate you on your accomplishments, and I commend your focus and discipline in rising to the challenges of the academic rigor that define a Scripps College education. I sat among the candidates for graduation in 1972. As an alumna, I can tell you firsthand that Scripps, both the education that you have received and the friends that you have made, will continue to be an important part of your life after college. Scripps is an inspiring place that cultivates exceptional individuals. So we know that after 4 years as part of this campus community, with your new degree in hand, you are prepared and ready to make your unique contribution to the world outside this campus. You have joined graduates and past commencement speakers such as Gabby Giffords, 93, Noni Cream, 94, Elizabeth Robbins Turk, 83, Hannah Beth Jackson, 71, and Barbara Arnwine, to name a few, as change makers and positive disruptors. We know that what you have learned at the college will transcend the years you have spent in the community, and that in time, probably very soon, if not already, you will play important roles in this complex and changing world. To the parents, families, and friends of today's graduates, I extend a very special welcome. I know the pride you must feel today. Savor the moment and enjoy the ceremony. Now it is my pleasure to turn the proceedings over to the interim president of Scripps College, Dr. Amy Marcus Newhall.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to echo our board chair, Lynn Thompson's warm welcome to today's commencement ceremony. Welcome to all of you. We're so excited to see you in person. Yeah. We are thrilled to celebrate the accomplishment of our recent graduates today and to share this landmark occasion with all of you in the audience. Since commemorating your achievements as a community is a highlight and hallmark of a Scripps education, we are particularly thrilled to celebrate in person today with all of you. Congratulations to the classes of 2020 and 2021. We know that the seats in this front section, all of you, are filled with scholars and leaders and change makers. Graduates, you have pursued diverse interests and passions that have led to unexpected and transformative results. What's more, you have remained resilient in the face of unprecedented and challenging times, and we are so excited to hear what you have been doing for the past year or two, and to see what you will do in the next steps of your journey. I congratulate each of you for completing such ambitious work while you were a student at Scripps. We are proud of what you accomplished in the classroom and since your official graduation. Your educational process was made possible by our distinguished faculty. They are both the authors and the guardians of academic excellence on this campus. Not only educators, our faculty serve as mentors, colleagues, and ambassadors for our students. I'm confident that each of you here today has a story, or multiple stories, to tell, maybe that you can share, maybe that you can't, about the ways in which a professor or professors shaped and enriched your Scripps experience. Faculty, please rise as we acknowledge you for ensuring a distinctive educational experience for every graduate at Scripps College. I would also like to thank the many Scripps staff who are committed to cultivating an exceptional educational and residential experience for our students. Scripps is fortunate to have skilled and dedicated professionals who deliver a broad range of stimulating residential and co-curricular programs and activities to strengthen our connections to one another. Our talented, hardworking employees help students through personal and academic challenges. They ensure that students have healthy and delicious meals. They provide meaningful work and volunteer experiences on and off campus to prepare students for careers and life. And they ensure a beautiful campus environment that cultivates curiosity and commitment. In short, they are here to ensure that our students' college experience is exceptional, unique, and memorable. This momentous ceremony, the other events last night, and the lunch today, and your time on campus could not happen without their work behind the scenes. So please join me in thanking our staff for their service to the college. Finally, I want to recognize the many parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, godparents, and friends here today. Family and friends, you supported our graduates along their educational journeys from grade school through college, and maybe beyond, maybe not. You entrusted your high school seniors to us 5 and 6 years ago, and you partnered with us to help them maximize their college experience, realize their academic potential, and continue their personal growth both on campus and virtually. We know that your contributions, support, and encouragement were invaluable, and we thank you for all that you did to prepare these wonderful students for their graduation and for today's celebration. Thank you all. I would like to thank you, the graduates from the classes of 2020 and 2021. Yeah, woo! For embodying the hopes and dreams of Scripps founder Ellen Browning Scripps, who envisioned an educational community that would equip its students to live lives of leadership, service, integrity, and creativity. Through you, Scripps is continuing its tradition of celebrating the life of the mind and developing humane and compassionate leaders for the future. You enrich the Scripps community with your ideas, your curiosity, and your aspirations. You earned the acknowledgement of the honor and recognition you will receive today. It is representative of the years of developing your work ethic, overcoming challenges, and celebrating your growth. Undoubtedly, you have and will continue to carry some of Scripps with you wherever you go through the friendships you made, the lessons you learned, and your ability to advocate for the issues you care about. As a Scripps graduate, you are an important resource for our students. Talk with future classes. Share your new experiences, your lessons learned, and your victories and challenges. Please continue the legacy of leadership you began during your time here by volunteering to mentor, interview applicants, serve on alum leadership committees, host interns, and speak on panels. The door is always open, and you are always welcome. You are a member of a powerful network of alums who are leading organizations, communities, and movements across the globe, and who are eager to help you do the same. Scripps alums all over the world are creating amazing change at local, national, and international levels. Because you left here with courage, confidence, and hope, I look forward to what you will continue to bring back to the Scripps community and bring forward to the world. We're so glad you're here. Congratulations. And now I am very pleased to introduce senior class speaker Zane Singh, class of 2020. So now Zane has to stand with all of you looking as I do the formal introduction. So there you go. Zane joins us from Illinois, where he is working toward earning his MA in clinical mental health counseling at Northwestern University. He expects to complete this graduate degree in 2023. In addition to his studies, Zane works as a student therapist at Art of Balance in Chicago, a clinic whose mission is to provide accessible mental health care for those who are underinsured and uninsured, and as a crisis counselor with Crisis Text Line, a nonprofit organization providing free mental health service through confidential crisis intervention. While at Scripps, Zane studied computational media and served as a resident coordinator, math tutor, and as a customer service associate in the Tiernan Fieldhouse. This is good. You're getting a lot of applause. Zane participated in undergraduate research with Assistant Professor of Africana Studies, Marianne Solomon, where they researched the origins of the Black Studies program at the Claremont Colleges. Zane also had a summer internship for 2 years as a global technology summer analyst with Bank of America, where he was hired for a full-time position as a global information security analyst after graduating from Scripps. Now, please join me in welcoming Zane to the stage.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Class of 2020 and 2021, it's really good to see you all. It's been 2 years and a very long time coming. I would like to extend first a huge amount of gratitude to Nicole, Karina, and Maddie. As co-class presidents and as part of the public events office, They worked tirelessly to give us this beautiful commencement ceremony for 2 years over Zoom. And I know that we all appreciate the time and effort that they put into making this happen, so thank you so much to the three of them. I have to be honest, when I was asked to speak again at this commencement ceremony 2 years later, I felt a little bit weird, a little uneasy. I was unsure of what I would talk about, having spent 2 years as an alum doing things in a world that felt and continues to feel very, very bleak. Roe v. Wade was overturned, trans kids are being told that they have no right to exist, and the recent shootings in Buffalo have left our Black and Brown and AAPI communities extremely fractured and harmed once again by the hands of white supremacy. And knowing the people that we all are, we didn't wait for a commencement to rise up and advocate for a better world. We didn't wait to make things happen. And the world didn't wait for us to have a commencement ceremony to be activists, leaders, students, engineers, scholars, and creators. We went and we did it without the closure of our college experience, without the closure of who we were, so we could then become who we are now. And so I've decided that instead of speaking with you all today about the usual platitudes of a typical commencement speech, I would take this opportunity to reflect upon who we were as students here, for my own closure, for your own closure. I encourage all of you to reach for that in your own way, as I do mine. Life moves us along so quickly that we don't even realize that years have passed, and now is our chance to pause, to reminisce, to reflect, to grieve, and to celebrate. We deserve that time and space. Scripps granted me a new start and a new life and allowed me to emerge into my own. I transformed in ways that I never thought this college would let me, and I never thought that I would let me. As many of you can see, I don't look like a typical Scripps student. I am a queer, trans, South Asian man at a women's college, and my experience and existence here, as well as the existence of so many of my peers and colleagues, challenged what it meant to attend a women's college. In fact, we challenged it so much that it became second nature for us to call this institution a historical women's college. And while the institution may not recognize the difference in language, we did. We began to pave a path for queerness, transness to exist here, and I can tell you that if we hadn't, I don't think I would be the person that I am today. I came out as a trans man in my sophomore year of college, and it was only because I was at Scripps that I first felt safe enough, but also honestly educated enough to understand years of feeling stuck and trapped in a body and gender that wasn't mine. I took one intro to feminist gender and sexuality studies course with Jaffe, and all of the sudden it was like the door opened to language and encapsulated my identities in ways that I didn't even know existed. It was so freeing and also incredibly challenging. Every day I thought that I shouldn't be here, that I didn't deserve to be here because I wasn't a cis woman, because there wasn't space for me here, because I would never be recognized as Zane, the trans student at a women's college. And of course I was wrong. I think the beauty of Scripps and the 5 Cs was the ability for us to make communities as big or as small as we wanted them to be. For me, my core group of 4 friends, all of whom could not be here today, gave me the encouragement and support and care to help me carve out space for myself and all of myself here. With them, I felt like I could conquer anything. It was incredibly scary and, in fact, quite jarring to have walked for 2 years after 2020 without them by my side physically. But the beauty of community is that these friends are the ones with bonds that will never break. They have stood the test of time, and I know that they will continue to. My closest friends helped me to discover the parts of myself that I couldn't see. For those of us who have friends in our class that couldn't be here today, know that we are holding space for all of you and all of the ways that you have helped us to grow and change into the people we are now. I became a computational media major, an a cappella group member, a brother to another Scripps student who at the time was a freshman but is now a rising senior, a partner to the person who I love most dearly, a scholar, an introvert, a Motley Table scout for my friends, an RA, the list goes on. I did so much and I changed so much, challenged myself so much, discovered so much. I never thought that I would be the person that I am today, just as I never thought that I'd be the person that I am 2 years later. And so to close, I wish I could say that the class of 2020 and 2021 have so much to look forward to as we venture off into the world for the first time, but we've already done that. We've already begun paving paths, taking action, forging new relationships and new connections to ourselves and to others. We have changed so much in the years since we left Scripps, and we will continue to change as life continues to challenge us. So instead of good luck, I say stay resilient. We have the ability to be changed by what happens around us, but not be reduced by it. We have the foundation to emerge constantly, continuously, without hesitation. And knowing that I am continuing to live in a world with all of you gives me hope and strength to remain resilient. Thank you. Congratulations, class of 2020 and 2021. And now I'd like to welcome the class of 2020 student ambassadors, Nicole Pang, Karina Schick, and Maddie Warman to the podium. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. It is so great to be with all of you here today. And thank you so much, Zane, for that beautiful introduction and also the incredible speech that we just heard. Can we give him one more big round of applause? It's a tough one to follow, Zane. Thank you. All right, Scripps students. Let's take it back in time, a long, long time ago. It's a Monday. You're sitting in Garrison Theater listening to a Core 1 lecture. It's slightly chilly. Every so often, your mind wanders to how you're gonna beat the 12:15 lunch line at Malott and how you're gonna strategically navigate the salad bar so you can have time with your friends. And then your attention snaps back to the professors discussing the most recent book of the week. We know you all remember reading Imagined Communities and Professor Jennifer Grosskopf's Burning Man lecture. Core was the first time that we were together as a class, and it bound us as Scripps students. A truly unique experience known only to this college, as I'm sure we all heard on the college tours and at Admitted Students Day. For 3 whole semesters, our classes, our community focused on the one curriculum, and it was community.
Community, the places where we can grow, learn, feel safe, and push ourselves out of our comfort zones. Even as we say the word, community can mean many things to different people. And I am sure you are all now thinking of what it means to you and what communities you have been a part of. If you think about it, these Core 1 lectures were one of the last times our classes sat side by side together in one place until today. And thinking back, we can't help but remember the experience that guided our conversation for 3 semesters. From the very first day we stepped on campus until now, who could have imagined what we've been through together? Many of us are in different places in our lives, but we are still tied by one common Scripps thread, and the communities that we have been a part of together here. Our communities may have shifted, and they have certainly grown geographically over the years, but here we are now, today, celebrating as one community. At our graduation, 2 years later. As Lizzo put it, it's about damn time. Let's go back again to our first year on campus. 2016 was a very special year for the class of 2020. It was our year of firsts. It was the first time navigating college classes and jobs, new friends and new roommates. It was the first moments of ecstasy trying the Malott bread pudding and the joy of buying challah bread in Seal Court. This was the year of our first pirate party, Eurobash, and soaking up the sun after class at the Fieldhouse pool. It was the first time that we were introduced to the people, groups, and experiences that would come to shape our lives and nurture our own identities. It was the first time, and until today, the last, that we processed out of the doors of the Denison Library. Things were bright, shiny, new, and the possibilities seemed endless.
Sophomore year was the year of further developing and solidifying our communities. This was the year where the first that we had experienced the year before became second nature, and we got to understand what communities brought us joy, which deepened our understandings of ourselves and the world, and where we fit into them. And of course, this was the year we declared our majors. Our minds raced with questions about what our majors and minors would be. Would we go abroad? Where would we decide to go? What new communities would we be a part of then? It was the year of major decisions, and yes, pun intended. These exciting and challenging opportunities that were unfolding would set us on paths that would continue to build our foundation here at Scripps, both in and out of the classroom. And little did we know that the sophomore slump was the least of our worries. Junior year was the year we started thinking about post-grad life and where our paths would take us after Scripps. As we peered into the unknown, the possibilities, be they exhilarating, wondrous, or simply terrifying, seemed endless as we began to think about what was to come. Despite these jumbled emotions that always seemed to be omnipresent, there was a beauty in the unknown and the yet to be determined. What would we choose to do outside of college? Who would we choose to be? This was also the year that many of us went abroad, bringing new communities, friendships, and academic experiences that took us away from all we had known here at Scripps. It was the first year of being upperclassmen, finally done with our intro-level classes and beginning to dive deeper into our academic and professional passions. This year, our daily lives as students consisted of organized chaos, or maybe for some of us not so organized chaos, and nervous and excited energy for what life may be like as a Scripps alum.
And now, the years we never saw coming. As we stand here today, the three of us thought long and hard about how to talk about our senior year and the ones that followed. How to address a year that the world first learned about COVID. Many of us remember the days before we left campus, wondering what the rest of our senior year would look like. There are truly no words that can encapsulate the enormity of a global pandemic shutting down the world. How each of us were impacted, how it changed our communities, our personal communities, our future ones. The trajectory of our lives all changed, and there is so much that we have collectively experienced as a society, as our social responsibility to each other has become more important than ever. But there were also so many experiences that were unique to each one of us, the hardships and the triumphs. As we reflect back on some of these commonalities that many of us have shared, we also acknowledge the multifaceted and diverse experiences that many of us have gone through.
All right, we're gonna go back to the class of 2020 senior year that started like any other senior year of college with a mixture of excitement, anticipation for the real world, and a thing called thesis. Yeah. We celebrated with our friends, spent hours in the library for our last Claremont finals, and excitedly looked to the spring semester for the much anticipated senior year traditions, like naked brunch, senior week in San Diego, signing the mural wall, and a day exactly like this.
We partied the night away at our 100 days until graduation party that actually turned into an 809 days until graduation party. And what started as a potential 2-week spring break turned into the end of undergraduate on-campus experience as we knew it. All of a sudden, we found ourselves living in the next chapter of our lives that looked completely different from what we had been preparing for our whole lives. We had to abruptly leave our Scripps community and find new ones way too early, without an opportunity to say goodbye, to celebrate all of our accomplishments, or to have any semblance of closure.
Life for each of us these past 2 years has been unpredictable, to say the least. Whether it was finding a new job, going to grad school, supporting your loved ones, something uniquely your own experience, or simply getting through each day. Our perspectives and understandings of community has changed since we last stepped foot on this campus, all while navigating a world that was just as confused as we were. And as much as we learned about communities during core and during our time at Scripps, no book could ever have prepared us for this.
And now, here we are today, in the year of 2022, standing in front of this class 2 years later than expected, having gone through the journeys of college that extended into our postgraduate lives. What an honor and a joy it is to be here with each and every one of you. The community that started as a theme during our core lectures has now turned into the epic graduations of the classes of 2020 and 2021. This community means so much to each and every one of us. It has been incredible to start and end our time at Scripps College with each and every one of you.
Thank you to those of you who have been there through it all, from supporting us on our journey to Scripps, to the first day moving us in, submitting thesis even from home, celebrating with us along the way. We owe so much of this to you and to this community.
To our families and loved ones, to our mentors, to our professors, to our friends that became family. Thank you for lifting us up. Thank you for standing by us through it all and believing in us when we didn't even believe in ourselves.
We know this community will continue to be there throughout the rest of our lives, and we will always be bound by this experience together. To our friends and fellow classmates, congratulations. There is no one else we wanted to spend this journey on with, and what a journey it really was.
To those who have congratulated us on being resilient in these unprecedented times, thank you, but we don't ever want to hear those words ever again.
We can now close this chapter of our lives and embark on the next. We wish you all the very best in your futures and can finally say, Incipit Vita Nova.
Here continues your real life.
Finally, a graduate
Of the Scripps College Class of 2020.
And now we would like to welcome our 2020 commencement speaker, Claire E.B. Cannon, class of 2008. Claire serves as an assistant professor of social and environmental justice at the University of California, Davis. Cannon is an interdisciplinary scholar in the Department of Human Ecology, researching the intersections of social and environmental justice, with a focus on gender inequality, environmental justice, and health disparities in urban, rural, and disaster contexts. Her research has investigated risks and vulnerabilities from climate change, health disparities related to intimate partner violence, and resilience and stress due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Cannon was born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama before she moved to Scripps College, where she completed her BA in American and Religious Studies, an MA in Social Ethics at Union Theological Seminary in the city of New York, and her PhD in City Culture and Community at Tulane University in New Orleans, Louisiana. She lives with her wife, dog, 2 cats, and 5 chickens in Sacramento, California. Please join us in welcoming Claire to the stage.
Thank you, Nicole, Karina, and Maddie, for your warm welcome. I am so excited to be with you today. I am honored and grateful to be a guest on the lands of the Tongva people. I am honored and humbled to be here to celebrate with you, your family, friends, and loved ones, all that you have achieved as you embark on the next leg of your journey. Congratulations. When I was asked to participate in this celebration, I asked my family and friends what I should say. I told Mom, they want me to speak for 10 minutes. She replied she didn't think that would be much of a problem for me. I asked my friends, many of whom are themselves Scripps alums, what I should say, and they told me to speak from my experience and my heart. They advised me to definitely stay under 10 minutes. I thought of the many, many graduations I have been a part of between my own and my brother's, 13 in total, graduations, not brothers. We're a well-educated family. Then I thought better of it. I've been to some incredible and not so incredible commencement speeches, and either way, the prospect was intimidating. I went for a hike down Buttermilk Trail overlooking the Yuba River, hugged by the granite of the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains, not too far from where I live in Sacramento. I thought of geologic time, of communities of plants and rocks, of a time before and after our species. I thought of other people's words stamped on my heart, like Mary Oliver's poem Wild Geese that I first encountered here at Scripps, which begins, "You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves." I thought of my experiences. My own experiences have taught me much. Experiences here of the wisteria growing wild across the Margaret Fowler Garden in spring, the experience of living in Toll Hall off the Rose Garden and letting my roommate in through the window, a Peter Pan of sorts because she had lost her key card again. Experiences of Denison Library and a double shot mocha from the Motley at closing time, 11:45 p.m., and what an experience that is. Only someone in their early 20s could handle all that caffeine and sugar in the middle of the night and A, think it's a good idea, and B, still sleep after. These are just some of the experiences here that have seeped into my bones and my being that I carry with me. Experiences of a different sort have also taught me much. The experiences of others that they graciously shared with me in my research on stress, resilience, disaster, and environmental justice. My research has taught me that people, ordinary individuals, live through extraordinary events, through pandemic, hurricanes, wildfire, daily pollution, and discrimination, and that by and large, as individuals, we are quite resilient. We withstand the shocks and the stressors, we bounce back. But what the research has also taught me is that people shouldn't have to be resilient. People shouldn't have to put their lives back together on their own, shouldn't be faced with multiple kinds of disasters or daily harms. But what the research also tells us is that our communities can help to reduce the burdens we face and strengthen our resilience. Communities like the ones you all have forged here, like the ones you will no doubt forge wherever you go next. And today, as your Scripps community, we are all gathered to celebrate you and all that you have accomplished. I think often of these lessons I've learned through experience and research, particularly as my wife and I expect our first child this fall. I'm gonna tell her y'all said that. Our child makes me think of the spirit and the boundless capacity for creativity and imagination of our species. She makes me think of the world in which she will be born and of the present moment. And this is an unprecedented moment in time. A moment filled with disappointment and loss, and one of radical possibility. It calls you to it. This moment filled with imperiled rights, the resurgence of a fight for freedoms long thought won, continuing a fight for freedoms not yet achieved, for reproductive justice and racial equity, for reparations and the right to live your gender and sex, a moment that necessitates vigilance, vigilance for our rights, our democracy, for each other. It is a moment we all must meet. How will you choose to meet it? I choose to meet this moment, which is informed by my experiences here. This place changed my life. The friends I made, the professors I learned from, the experiences I had. And this place may have changed your life too, perhaps in ways yet to be discovered. And you may have already found, the uncertainty of this moment destabilizing. And as the class of 2020, you've had more than your fair share of facing uncertainty. That already the time after graduation is frequently a very difficult time for many, a time of transition and change from this place to that one. That this time in particular is one filled with uncertainty, socially, politically, and the wider context of the world in pandemic, at war, and in crisis, coupled with a time of great personal uncertainty, still figuring out who you are and who you want to be in the wide open sea of the world, our world, where anything is possible. And think of what already has been, the friends you've made here, the relationships you've built, the community you've grown, all that you have accomplished, all the difficult and wondrous things you've done, the math exam you never thought you'd ace, that match with everything on the line you won, that language you spent years learning. You have grown immeasurably in your time here. You have made the impossible possible. You have faced great uncertainty before, perhaps when you walked through Denison's gates for the first time, and you've emerged different, the same, changed. In short, this life will surprise you. Let it. Let it fill you with awe and amazement and a deep love for the world around you, and not just for the big stuff, like the job you've worked so hard for, or that promotion you've earned, or your first, second, or third great loves, but also for the everyday sorts of things, for your walk to the bus or the train or from the parking lot, for the person making your coffee in the morning or afternoon or evening, if you're still brave enough to face caffeine at that late hour, for the trees that line our streets and the rivers that power our lives. Let this one imperfect, miraculous life surprise you. And may you choose to meet the surprise of life with compassion and care for yourselves and each other, for our plant and animal relations, for the great wide world and the only planet we have and share. In short, you each have the power to transform the world. You already are, so don't stop, keep going. I think at last of Oliver's poem. It concludes, whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. What world will you imagine? What will grow if we let it?
Thank you, Claire, for those amazingly inspiring words. What a treasure to be able to listen to you speak today. It is now my honor to introduce our 2021 student speakers, Alexa Sanchez and Amelia Hahn. Alexa joins us from the San Francisco Bay Area, where she works. What? Yay, San Francisco! Where she worked full-time as a public finance investment banking analyst with Morgan Stanley. Prior to that role, she held an events and marketing internship with the nonprofit human rights advocacy organization Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights. While at Scripps, Alexa majored in politics and was a Sponsors for Educational Opportunity, or SEO, career scholar, where she received individualized coaching and online educational and career support. She also worked as a phone-a-thon caller for 2 years and was active in student government, serving as the sophomore class president, the junior class president, and the senior co-class president. Amelia Hahn is a clinical research coordinator at the University of California, San Francisco, working full-time in the STAR lab in the Department of Neurosurgery. While at Scripps, she majored in neuroscience and served as an organic chemistry tutor for 2 years. She was active with student government and served as senior class co-president with Alexa. Amelia also worked part-time as a research assistant at McLean Hospital in Boston for several months. Since 2018, she has volunteered at the Vanderbilt University Medical Center, where she assists with children with special needs in the ophthalmology clinic and in the inpatient playrooms at Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital. Please join me in welcoming senior class speakers Alexa Sanchez and Amelia Hahn.
Thank you, Interim President Marcus Newhall, for your thoughtful introduction. Hello, friends, family, and members of the Scripps College class of 2020 and 2021. It is an honor to be with you all here today in person, and I'm so happy and thankful that we're able to gather here to celebrate our classes. I get to address you all on the real Elm Tree lawn instead of the virtual one that was green screened behind me and my fellow class co-president last year. Before I begin my remarks, I wanted to acknowledge those members of our class that were not able to make it today. While they are not able to be with us in person, we also celebrate their accomplishments, hard work, and dedication. When I was thinking of what I wanted to say to you all, I must admit it was very challenging. I had to think quite hard about my time at Scripps. Our classes especially have been quite disconnected from the traditional Scripps experience for quite some time. Some initial memories that came to mind were afternoons in the Motley, where you'd always run into someone you knew, for better or for worse. Debates amongst friends about which dining hall is the best, spending an afternoon at the pool while doing a reading for class, etc. And when these memories came to mind, I still felt like something was missing. I realized that these were all the highlights of my experience at Scripps, but it wasn't my whole experience. Now, one thing that my close friends can tell you about me is that I am an avid oversharer, especially when it comes to my emotions. So please allow me to overshare for a second. Now, one thing I did a lot during my time at Scripps is cry. Yeah. I cried in my dorm, in Seal Court, in the dining hall, in the library, you name it. Whether I was feeling stressed, sad, frustrated, anxious, I just let my tears flow freely all throughout all 5 campuses, really. And when I was thinking about these times, one stood out in particular. My freshman year, I had just gotten my first midterm grades back, and admittedly, they were not great. At the same time, I was feeling very homesick. I felt like I wasn't forming close friendships yet. So I decided to call my mom for comfort and advice while walking through campus right by Steele, and I started to cry. I was second-guessing myself immediately, and I wanted to immediately go home. When I was thinking about this memory, I was reminded of a time that I recently cried in public just a few months ago, walking through the streets of San Francisco. I had a very hard day at work. I felt like I wasn't doing well and thought everybody could see that I didn't deserve to be there. And like any independent post-grad would do, I again called my mom, and I started to cry. Unfortunately, in both situations, sorry, Mom, despite my mom's best efforts, I didn't feel better when I hung up the phone. And I didn't feel better the next day, or really even the one after that. And unfortunately, there wasn't some magic moment where I had a big picturesque realization that everything is going to be all right, because change is extremely uncomfortable and slow in many situations. Whether it be adapting to a new city, attending graduate school, starting a job, or anything in between. However, we all keep moving forward and trying anyways. We try and make it work one way or another. Reflecting on my time at Scripps and being able to come back to campus has given me the opportunity to appreciate the full experience of my time at Scripps, both happy and sad. Postgrad has been quite similar in that way. And while there may not always be a large ceremony like this one to celebrate what you accomplish after leaving Scripps, I hope you take the time to celebrate all of your victories, no matter how small. Be proud of yourself for continuing to grow and find yourself. I know that I am certainly proud of you all.
That was beautiful. I'm having a big, proud best friend moment. Thank you, Alexa. It is my great honor to introduce the commencement speaker for the class of 2021, alumna Sally Yu. Sally Yu, class of 92, is an early stage investor, advisor, and board member. She currently serves on the board of Helium Incorporated and Quick Incorporated. She is a limited partner with Operator Collective, Jane VC, and Construct Capital, funds led by women that seek to invest in women founders. Sally is also the former Chief Legal Officer, Corporate Secretary, and General Counselor of Uber Technologies Incorporated. Sally was a member of the executive team that grew Uber from 11 cities and 4 countries in July of 2012 to over 200 cities and over 40 countries by December 2017. Prior to Uber, Sally was a litigation partner at Davis Wright Termaine LLP. She also serves as the president of the Asian Art Museum Foundation Board and as vice chair of the Asian Art Commission. She is a member of the museum's Compensation Committee, Committee on Trustees, and Audit Committee. She also serves on the Board of Trustees for Scripps College, where she is vice chair of its Trustee and Governance Committee. She is a member of the board of the Council of Korean Americans. She also serves as a member of the Leaders Council of the Legal Services Corporation. Sally is a graduate of Scripps College and Boston University School of Law. Please join me in welcoming Sally Yu.
Good morning. It's amazing to be here with you today. I was here last week, along with some of our faculty and our board, and I will tell you, it's a lot cooler this week. But all joking aside, I'm really happy to be here. This is the graduation that I wanted to be at. I wanted to be with each of you, the class of 2020 and 21, at this moment, and for all the classmates who could not be here today. So first, I wanted to start off by thanking President Amy Marcus Newell, the faculty and staff of Scripps College, my board chair, Lynn Thompson, and most importantly, you, for inviting me to share this special day. It is truly a privilege. Congratulations. I know it's 2 years late, 1 year late, but still, you deserve your moment, and congratulations. 30 years ago, I sat in your seats. I know, it's crazy, but it must be said, none of you were born. I can't believe this. I remember vaguely how I felt that morning, still recovering from finishing and defending my thesis down to the wire, getting it printed and bound. Is that still a thing? Okay, all right. We still share one thing. I heard naked brunch. We do not share that, but it sounds very interesting. Excited to finally walk down Elm Tree Lawn with my class, but mostly filled with anticipation and a little bit of worry. To be honest, quite a bit of worry as to what laid ahead. So on that morning, I had some outline of a life plan. I was headed to law school. My parents insisted I go straight through. They were really afraid that I was going to get off that ramp. I knew I wanted to work. I hoped for a family. And I knew that I wanted some measure of financial independence, not only for myself, but for my parents who had sacrificed so much for my brother and me. But beyond that, it was all hopes and dreams. And I was not entirely certain how I was going to bring those dreams to fruition. That morning, I looked at the podium and saw the trustees of Scripps College and thought, could that possibly be me someday? A child of immigrants who is fortunate to attend Scripps mostly on scholarship. Could I one day be able to give back in that way? It seemed like the most remote of possibilities. And I certainly did not conceive that I would be or could be invited to speak. But ready or not, here I am. Feeling kind of unworthy, I have to admit. And I spent the last couple of weeks questioning what possible advice I could give to the class of 2021. I'm only going to say it one more time. I know you've heard a lot about resilience, but you already know your strength, that you are so capable of so much. What could I add with words that you haven't already lived and learned through living? But following one of my mentors, here I go with a couple of lessons I've learned over the past 30 years in the hope that they are helpful in the journey ahead. A few years after law school, to break up the grind of law firm life, and for those of you headed to law school, eyes wide open, it's a grind. I looked for ways to make connections with my community, and I ended up joining an organization called the Korean American Chamber of Commerce in San Francisco. It was a group founded by first-generation business people. And after a few years as a member, one of the leaders encouraged me to run for president. It was a group of mostly CEOs and other C-suite people. I'm not certain to this day why they let me in. And I did not feel ready. In fact, as a junior lawyer, a woman in her 30s, I felt distinctly unready. For those of you who may have had a similar moment, either in the graduating class or in our parents and friends out here, it's not just you or me. Studies show that women tend to wait until they feel qualified, ready, before seeking promotions or leadership roles. This is one of the reasons why women progress more slowly to positions of leadership, and one of the things I want you guys to change. But I talked over the suggestion with one of my mentors, and he said something that I have never forgotten. He said, "This is an opportunity. Just say yes, and you'll grow into it." So I said yes. I leapt, and I grew into it, and I gained confidence that I could successfully lead something that I didn't feel 100% qualified for. So what I ask you today is practice leaping. Don't edit yourself out. Don't wait until you feel 100% ready or deserving of the promotion, the responsibility, the role. Bite off more than you think you can chew. And grow into the responsibility and the role that you've taken on. You will succeed. And if you need a little more push, as an executive of a couple of tech companies, I've had the opportunity to observe how men and women operate. Let me assure you, plenty of men seek positions and promotions that they aren't quite qualified for. And because they seek it, sometimes they get it. Don't hold yourself back. Don't be the person who tells herself no. They aren't. As I mentioned, after law school, I joined a large law firm and began the trek, hopefully, towards partnership. I embarked on this journey during a period of time, the 2000s, when the ABA Journal reported that basically, if you were a minority woman in a large US law firm, the chance that you would make partner was statistically 0. In other words, so few of us made it that it didn't matter, statistically speaking. That article lit a fire under me. I was not willing to accept the fact that my career ambition was meaningless, even as a statistic. Rather, it made me dig in and try to do what it takes to make partner and then hopefully be in a place to help other women and minorities solve that puzzle and also make partner. It wasn't easy, but with the support of many mentors, allies, and my own support network who kept me sane and laughing throughout the process, I made it. And then about 10 years ago, I was having lunch with a friend who was a legal recruiter. She asked me if I would consider going in-house to shift my plan for my life and work for a company instead of working at a law firm. Well, for a number of reasons, and you, if you haven't experienced this already, will experience this, my life was a little bit out of balance, a little out of sync that week. I was feeling like a failure on many fronts. And that feeling of failure just opened me up just a little bit. And I told my friend, maybe. And she immediately gave me a job description for a company I had never heard of, a company that had developed an app that allowed someone to request a ride using their phone. That was 2012. The history books will tell you that back then, the only way you could get a taxi ride was by doing this. And depending on the color of your skin, your gender, your age, and perhaps what you are wearing, you may or may not get picked up. And to be fair, I don't blame taxi drivers. Remember, they start every day in the hole with the need to earn enough to cover their car rental costs for the day as quickly as possible so that they can start earning for themselves. But that was the experience back then. And my interest was piqued. I researched the company, tested the app around San Francisco, fell in love with the product, and threw my hat in the ring for the job. And after many, many, many rounds of interviews, I received the job offer. I was then at a crossroads. As I mentioned earlier, I had stayed at the law firm because I was committed to doing my part to increase the number of minority women partners in large law firms. Lawyers are also by nature risk averse. If we weren't, we'd go to business school. So if I looked at that decision from the perspective of why would I leave my law partnership, take a pay cut, and join an unknown risky startup, the answer was clear: no way. That was stupid. However, I decided the right question to ask myself was, when is the next time I'd be offered the general counsel position of a tech company? When I asked myself that question, the decision was easy, because maybe never. So I left that hard-earned partnership and joined a small, relatively unknown startup of less than 100 people called Uber. So when at a crossroad in your life, perhaps a hard pivot from where you thought you were headed, make sure that you take the time to ask yourself the right question. Doing so could lead to tremendous opportunity to learn and grow and take you on an adventure previously unimagined. Not always fun, but an adventure regardless. So in closing, again, 30 years ago, I sat in your seats. I thought about the words on Honold Gate, specifically wondering whether my life, I'd be able to reflect the values of a life lived with courage, confidence, and hope. I realize now, and particularly in the past 2 years, that what fuels me, and I submit should fuel all of us, and what I feel in the room today, is hope. Hope is the visioning that propels courageous action that actuates change. Hope propelled my parents 45 years ago to leave Korea with their 2 children under 6 and take the first flight of their lives to build a better life in a foreign country where they had no family. Hope is what drove me to partnership at a time when the data told me that because of my gender and race, I was unlikely to make it. And hope is what gives me the confidence to take leaps in my life, to be open to opportunities to grow, both professionally and personally, before I feel ready. Hope is what moves us, each of us, and the world with it, from what is to what should be. It is what helps us persevere through adversity and propels us to realize that better future. And I think what sets apart the class of 2020 and 2021 is that you already know this. You've lived it. In other words, I believe that you, along with the other pandemic classes, as we're calling it, have a leg up. Because at the commencement of your adulting, you've already had to reach deep during dark times to envision a better day, to reach today, and to move yourselves forward. And because you've had to exercise courage, I suspect that you have greater confidence in your ability to affect change, both personally and collectively, than any other class before you. So as you pause today to celebrate your achievement, your past achievement, I should say, my wish for you is to leap and grow into the opportunities presented to you, and that at critical junctures in your life, you take the time to ensure that you're asking yourself the right question. But most of all, my ask is that you operate from a place of hope, however bleak the present. Then, using the knowledge that you have gained here and the skills that you have learned to organize together as a community and advocate for change, I ask that you go out there and be the change. Move us towards the future that is truly just and equitable for all, where all voices are heard and where we care for Mother Earth. I am excited to see where each of you go and where each of you take us and the world. Congratulations.
I'm going to take a point of personal privilege and say, these are the models for all of you graduates. So proud of these Scripps alums. Thank you. We will now proceed with the reading of the names. The class of 2020 and class of 2021 will be presented by Associate Dean of Faculty Jennifer Armstrong. I am pleased to announce that we will also confer degrees upon some members of the class of 2022 who were unable to participate in last week's ceremony. First, graduates from the class of 2020 will process to the stage, followed by graduates from the class of 2021, and finally, graduates from the class of 2022. As each graduate crosses the stage, they will be congratulated by Interim President Amy Marcus Newhall with the assistance of Interim Vice President and Dean of Students Andriata De Bartolo Beckman. I apologize. Thank you.
Nicole Brittany Pang. Madeline Warman. Karina Schick. Zane Singh. Carly Willie. Gabriella Kimmerly. Julia Canfield. Jennifer Grady. Alexandra Varga. Jacqueline Desmond. Bergen Carlos. Faith McDermott. Frankie Stark. Casey Welsh. Zoe Hollinger. Erin Delaney. Emmy Stanek. Elise Van Scoy. Sarah Sanchez. Eliana Smithstein. Talia Bromberg. India Watley. Julia Rose Foodman. Harper Grace Lasky Nils. Amanda Gallup. Lauren Romero. Sarah Palm. Megan Whitman. Catherine Emery. Alexandra Parker. Catherine Weiss. Kaylee Stout. Maggie Thompson. Zadie Lachlan. Molly Ferguson. Devin Frost. Cleo Jisung Hu. Huize Huang. Yunyi Chen. Aaliyah Goldstein. Amika Okamura. Emma Stamen. Josephine Sanders. Kathy Liu. Ashley Shu. Vicky Liu. Nana Mathis. Sabrina Wu. Audrey Connell. Alexi Butts. Maya Jones. Julia Sun. Michaela Chang. Isabel Fan. Logan Abravea Kramer. Julia Pineda. Annabelle Vernon. Anna Cherry. Megan Lockhart. Ryan Finley. Matsita Naimuzawe. Tori Smith. Sarah Chin. Alexandra Bacall. So sorry. Maria Liu. Teresa Aronson. Sarah Wilson. Alicia Yan. Allison Ju. Rowan Light Wills. Hannah Zucker. Anika Mammon. Nithya Deepak. Samyukta Ravikumar. Miranda Alonso. Asmin Lopez. Caroline Duro. Amy Sorto Moreno. Julia Macias Wyland. Hayden Rain Craig. Mia Kenya. Lucy Umland Winokur. Maggie Bynum. Samantha Dresner. Hannah Orahood. Ariel So. Emily Coe. Kyla Smith. Hannah Zhuang. Nina Zietlow. Sophie Peters. Sabrina Chung. Amelia Jenkins. Amanda Walker. Juliana Clark. Emma Johnson. Lauren Longo. Layla Schneider. Kara Dunn Dombrick. Nayati Narung. Delaney Hewitt. Emma Williams. Anastasia Brian Anagia. Anna Liz Roy. Rebecca Goldman. Leah Nader. Jacqueline Houghton. Kimberly Kanashina. Tamara Waxman. Clara Chilton. Abigail Sorkin. Quinn Kemledge. Sabrina Drescher. Claire Zervagone. Sarah Ellen Grove. Vera Samuels. Jamie Castleman. Priya Prabhakar. Sahana Mehta. Sage White. Karma Istanbuli. Aaliyah Curtis. Leora Akbarov. Anisha Call. Luana Maylard. Romy Elyashar. Amelia Benson Meyer. Lillian Johnson. It's a G, yes. Claire D'Amelio. Natalie Pedicino. Alex Hunter. Sophia Knowlton Latkin. Cameron Holler Smith. Megan Robaleski. Just Eve. Eve Kaufman. Indigo Olson. Rhiannon Schaub. Rory Taubman. Eleanor Gross. Sophie Baker. Sabina Villalobos. Abigail Clark. Christina Marshall. Navi Shah. Now we will graduate the class of 2021. Will you 2020? Regina Famatigan. Alyssa Dart. Sabrine Rashmawi. Gloria Choi. Anna Wessels. Rebecca Reisman. Salat Eklilu. Florencia Versalona. Salam Ayana. Isabel Lopez. Serene Harb. Nadia Seringo Ringo. Devin Ma. Claire Schnadig. Mimi Roberts. Madeline Ruiz. Emma Garval. Miriam Howard Jensen. Brianna Kim. Mackenzie Priest Hick. Stone Van Allen. Therese Oshiro. Emily Hu. Kyla Fisher. Justine Iwata. Gabriella Jacoby. Claire Sulzer. Sophia Albanese. Tanima Joshi. Alexandra Branscombe. Ada Barron. Catherine Grenham. Maura Mulhern. Maya Corson Hernandez. Louisa Cornelis. Samantha McFadden. Sarah Muskies. Chloe Lesh. Ali Umamoto. Daphne Liu. Lucy Wharton Moore. Vanessa Lincoln. Grace Jouet Shao. Christina Yu. Alyssa Elk. Sorry, Alyssa. Nara Kravik. Francesca Fu. Eleanor Strotz. Sony Kaur. Jillian Hart. Olivia Silva. Mariali Perez. Ananya Sager. Is it Monga? Chavi Monga. Annabelle Walsh. Julia Mueller. Rebecca Hoving. Marissa Langley. Hannah Kim. Claire Joseph. Camille Barreto. Julia Drove. Sophia DeViro. Shelby DeVolder. Catherine Cleland. Antonio Capicella. Tonia. Sarah Halabe. Caroline Strang. Mariam Rashida Ijaz. Alexa Sanchez. Amelia Hahn. Laura Epperson. Juliana Lombardo Romeo. Angie Meneses. Yasmin Razik. Priya Kareti. Ava McIlvain. Madison Cito. Eleni Ortiz. Dianita McCutcheon. Samita Kadiyala. Safia Hassan. Lillian Hahn. Madison Walker. Kate Finster. Sitlali Vavar. Karina Lopez. Daisy Hernandez. Viviana Ayala Sandoval. Helen Norsini. Griffin Campbell. Alexis Mitchner. Corinne Mitchner. Alexis Paff. Harper Glazer. Catherine Simon. Holly Miller. Ann Lee. Cynthia Perez. Sagrika Jawadi. Manali Joshi. Emma Kolsnick. Elke Kiva. Gabriella Silverman. Victoria Farina. Claire Cantillon. Elise Silberhorn. Julia Calloway. Jacqueline McVeigh. Miranda Jane Foster. Olivia Gleason. Mackenzie Rutherford. Emma Lee. Chugo Akujobi. Elle Biesmeyer. Alexandra Shu. Dayanaro Campos Sarmiento. Selena Ho. Mimi Louie. Rajashri Rajkumar. Hava Parker. Rose Gelfand. Alyssa Roshan. Jordan Wellington. Ariana Thompson. Anna Lavongtiang. Dayla Waller. Grace Drury. Reina Diol. Christina Linder. Jamie Ding. Talia Bernstein. Megan Bobrowski. Caroline Wofford. Amalia Barrett. Edison Reed McLaughlin. Catherine Tumler. I'm saying it wrong this one. Emily McCabe. Lindsay Trin. Vivian Matthews. Jessica Yelle. Christina Rusu. Allegra Alfano. Maddie Bergen. Fiona Callahan. Raquel Jimenez. Changyan Wang. Yunxing Lin. Yunxing Lin. Andrea Flores. Lucia Diaz. Lois Velasquez. Nancy Vigil. Let's see the Diaz. Joanna Zamaripo Diaz. Should I just keep going or should I announce it? And now the graduates from 2022. Luzinki. Margot Luzinki. Amanda Owens. This one was given to me.
Graduates, will you please stand? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Scripps College, I hereby acknowledge your receipt of the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Please move your tassels from the right to the left. Graduates, please take your seats. There is still one more. So it is my time as interim president to provide the graduates of the classes of 2020 and 2021 a charge. What makes this different from all other presidential charges is that it is not as you are graduating and leaving campus, because you already have done so over the past few years. You have commenced your post-Scripps life and are working, going to graduate school, following your passions, or maybe doing all of these and even more. Even though you have been out of college for 1 or 2 years, the charge that I provided to the class of 2022, who graduated last Saturday, is still just as relevant, timely, and meaningful to all of you as it was to them. First and foremost, it must be acknowledged that both of your classes and your college experiences were uniquely shaped and interrupted by the pandemic. The pandemic has brought overwhelming sorrow and stress and illness and loss. But it also has forced us to approach community, the common theme of today, community building and adaptation in new ways. You all were forced by the pandemic to become better problem solvers and creative connectors as you navigated this uncharted terrain over the past 2+ years. You are part of the pandemic history, and the pandemic is part of your history. Today, as there is seemingly light at the end of the tunnel and an opportunity to return to a new normal, take pride in the unique skills you have developed due to the pandemic and utilize them to make an even greater difference in this world. Look around you at your friends, your classmates, your mentors and mentees, the faculty behind me, the staff around us. This was your college community that you developed, nurtured, struggled with, and matured from. The pandemic suddenly removed many of the traditional ways we maintain our connections and forced us to ask, what does community really mean? How important is it to us? How can we create it in even the most isolated of circumstances? During your time on and off campus, as your education was both in-person and remote, you learned how to build, strengthen, and sustain a community in and outside of the classroom, in person and virtually, by your engagement with academics, student government, clubs and organizations, athletic teams, study groups, residence hall activities, 5C connections, families, work colleagues, postgraduate educators, and so much more. You learned and demonstrated, and continue to do so, that community is not necessarily being in the same geographical space, but rather it is about engaging, interacting, and supporting one another, not only in the good times, but also, and perhaps more importantly, in times of pain, inequity, and fear. Community is about feeling connected and responsible for one another. It's about focusing beyond ourselves as individuals and rather pursuing a greater good for those we know and love, as well as those we do not know personally, but whose humanity we value and advocate for. You found new, innovative ways to protect and even enhance that precious sense of connectedness, empathy, acceptance, and encouragement from supporting one another and forming bonds, friendships, and most importantly, a community. You have already proven that you can overcome the most unprecedented, sorry for saying it again, unprecedented challenges during the pandemic and yet build impactful, supportive, change-making communities. My charge to you is to continue to create and participate in these same kinds of communities that you did while in college, as you likely have the past few years, to the next phases of your life to affect change. Bring together colleagues you encounter in the workplace to create a community that lifts one another up. Bring together like-minded advocates from across the globe to fight against injustice. Bring together family and friends to pursue common interests and passions. Use what you have learned about the value and vulnerability of community. Use what you have learned to build, protect, and sustain community in your future spheres of influence. The strength of your community is directly connected to your individual achievements and your ability to affect collective change. In the words of legendary civil rights leader John Lewis, quote, "Never ever be afraid to make some noise and get in good trouble, necessary trouble," end quote. Use your communities to affect such change and get in good trouble. Congratulations to the classes of 2020, 2021, and 2022. Graduates and audience, please stand and join us in the singing of Thy Many Gifts.
Strong in the strength of love and sharing together, searching, exploring the night.
Thank you, everyone. I invite you to join us at the lunch on Jakewell Lawn. I don't know what the response was there. Okay. So will the audience please remain standing until the recessional is completed? The platform party will exit the stage, followed by the faculty and then the graduates. Family and friends, thank you for joining us and for your support. We are so pleased to have you on campus and to be able to celebrate the graduation in person. Congratulations again from your alma mater, Scripps College.